It's a wonderful experience just to come to a part of the world that I've never really explored before. It sparks all the cells in your body. Yeah, it's like anywhere new and different, and you've never been before. It has a different smell and flavour in every way. It just looks so kind of prehistoric, and this was a land that was very, very alive, very fertile.
Whether it's the smell of rum, the heat, the guns, or the Latino style, there is a certain electricity about life in Central America that you just can't put your finger on. Like the Spanish that colonized this area in search of gold, you never know what you might find. The Quicksilver Crossing sailed into the waters of Central America in search of something else: empty surf. On board for the first leg of the trip were Hawaii's Evan Valier, California's Josh Hoyer, and crossing veteran Puerto Rico's Dylan Graves. On the first couple of days, Martin and the new crew checked every beach and headland of nearly 100 miles of coastline, looking for waves he was sure must be there.
We are heading south, looking for surf.
After a day of searching, the best wave they found was this. It wasn't too bad, but a little too fat and a little too lumpy. Slowly, as the water got shallower and the swell built, our unnamed, and as far as we know, never been surfed before reef started doing this.
When we first got there, it was really bad, and then later on in the day, it just turned on because of the tide or something. It started to barrel, and it was fun.
It was one of the easiest, friendliest, and most makeable barrels anyone could hope for.
Wow, better than one time, that's for sure. Definitely the most I would say.
After finding such a great wave after only a few days of motoring, Martin wanted to continue down the coast. Incredibly, only a few miles away they discovered yet another classy left-hander. Heavier and less predictable than the previous day, this left we named the Grave, in honor of Dylan Graves, following this heroic effort on his very first wave.
The Grave was such a good wave. If you really got that place wired, you can just be dropping in behind that section, getting shacked every time.
Evan broke his leash on this wave, but continued to surf without one. Here's Evan's leash replacement maneuver.
Well, the Grave was really not what I expected to catch here.
The role of the crossing is to find new waves, not just hang around at the good ones. So we left the Grave and steamed all night, arriving at this beautiful A-frame beach break.
I wasn't really expecting a whole lot. I haven't talked to anyone that surfed here or been here or seen really any photos, so I just kind of had an open mind about the whole thing.
After only a few days of searching, the Quicksilver Crossing had discovered 2 great waves and surfed a third with real potential. All this in an area that we had been assured had little to offer. And all the maps and satellite imagery we could find would have agreed. But that's what exploration is all about. Getting out there and seeing what you can find for yourself. And in Central America, it's not just the surf that's worth exploring. The jungles and volcanic mountain ranges were also amazing. We climbed one to have a look. On most days we surfed, we could see at least 3 or 4 volcanic peaks on the horizon, some still smoldering in the distance. The other amazing thing is the steaming hot weather that causes the inevitable afternoon lightning storm.
Once nightfall comes here and the moisture just pours up off the land and you know, the humidity just gets broken up. Some of the most violent lightning storms I've ever seen.
Cameraman Chris Bryan was actually struck by lightning while filming in broad daylight. This nightly rain washes thousands of tons of volcanic soil into the Pacific every day. So even though it's clean, the water on the Pacific side is brown, while the water on the Caribbean side is crystal blue. Someone who's grown up surfing the brown offshore waves of Central America's Pacific coast is local surfer Jimmy Rotherham. Jimmy met up with the Quicksilver Crossing while Tom Carroll was on board. He assured us that Central America had incredible waves. This is Jimmy's home break, right in front of his house. He can actually check the surf while he's working in the family restaurant.
Wake up early in the morning, like on a Monday or something like that, and there's no one out. Surf by yourself for like 2 hours. I'm so lucky to live here, I was born here and surf for all my life.
It has to be one of the best right-hand point breaks in the world, and most surfers have never even heard of it. When it gets bigger, it breaks exactly the same as when it's small, but it runs for about 300 meters. Here's another amazing Central American point break. It can only be accessed by boat because there are no roads, just wild horses on the beach.
It was really good to catch up with the local surfer here, Jimmy Rotherham. By the time we got out in the water and got to see him surf, gosh, the guy just shone. He was, you know, the talent that, I don't know, where do you get that sort of stuff from? I don't know where that comes from. You know, you're born with that stuff, and to see that level and that enthusiasm, and just stoked just to take off on a wave and do what he does. It was really good. It helped me a lot in the water, and you know, I'm very grateful for that.
There was one spot that Jimmy wanted to keep quiet about until a decent swell arrived. He told us that this place can get as perfect as Pipeline, but with 1/10 of the crowd. And we believe it. The crossing scored incredible waves right through Central America, when we really expected to find very little.
I was really just watching for the crossing to come around across the Atlantic and down through the Panama Canal, and let's get out in the Pacific side and have a good look.
Based on these great surf discoveries, the crossing will spend an extra 2 years in the waters of the Caribbean, Central America, and USA, looking for any other stones which might be left unturned.